The last time I remember I looked at the clock, it was 4:00 in the afternoon. When I woke up in hospital, it's 10:00 or past 10, somewhere 10ish.
Yeah.
So then now I'm being taken to the doctor. A lot of things. I'm still drunk that time. And I'm just going with the flow. And then now I hear rape kit, this. I'm like, okay, what happened?
Yes.
Because at the party, it was just, we're all friends. We're all just friends. Well, that's what I thought.
Let me introduce to you the new kid on the block. Mel La Vie is a new skincare range that recently launched. It is for face and for body. We deal with hyperpigmentation, anti-aging, wrinkles, natural glow. We also deal with dark inner areas. We target dark inner thighs, dark armpits, dark neck, dark elbows, dark knees, you name it. We also have a shaving combo. This shaving combo deals with ingrowns and shaving bumps. Both men and women can use this good quality product shaving range. We've got good actives in our product from glycolic acid, hyaluronic acid, kojic acid, and many more. You can contact us on the WhatsApp number that is popping on the screen, or you can reach out to us on all our social media platforms. We are here for all your skin needs. Hi everyone, welcome to O Narrative Podcast by myself, Promise Magunyane. This podcast, it's about marriage and family dynamics. You know, if you'd like to be a part of this podcast, you need to write to us on the email address that is popping on the screen. Do not forget to put your number, preferably your WhatsApp number, so that we can contact you once we vet your story. Guys, just another announcement. We do have another podcast that airs every Sundays at 6 p.m. It's called The Working Wife and The Working Woman podcast. That other podcast is really just inspiring women to work, inspiring women to do it for themselves, whether they're in corporate, whether they're entrepreneurs, hustlers, you know, whether you are whatever, a nanny, an au pair, and you feel that you have a story to inspire another woman to do it for themselves, you are welcome to write to us on the same email address that is popping on the screen, and also do put your WhatsApp number on the email so that we can contact you once we vet your story. I always say it's good to have a man do stuff for you, but it's even much more better if you can also do stuff for yourself. So yeah, and this particular podcast, as you already know, it airs on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Today is another installment with another woman. Okay, but it's not just for women, this podcast, but I'm sitting with a woman today. But that other podcast is just women. But yeah, Shoki. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell you how I got to know about your page.
Okay.
Yes. My mom sent me a clip of your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I remember that.
My mom sent me a clip and was like, listen to this thing, because we have like a similar situation in the family, but not exactly the same, but more like. So she was like, she resonated with your mom a lot. And then I was like, okay, I listened to the video. I watched the video and I was like, okay, I'll have to get a hold of you, because now I went through your page. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what a 360-10. Sure, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Do you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Boshiane Ngopodi, but I go by Shoki.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm recently Marabani. I recently got married. And well, I'm a 35-year-old, introverted. Lady from Raskukune, Limpopo.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a mother to 2 kids. I work with my mother.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a little bit of how I can introduce myself.
Yes. You said you have recently married. When did you get married?
In April. Of this year.
Oh, yes. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank
Newlyweds.
Yeah, this is, still the honeymoon phase.
Yes.
So,
yeah. We wish you all the best. So, Shoki, your story, the video that I've seen, it's about your past life.
Yeah.
Right? Take me through your childhood before we get to that life. Take me through your childhood. How did you grow up with your parents, family wise?
The youngest of 5 kids, 3 sisters and a brother. But my brother passed on a couple of years ago. I think it's 2006 or before that.
Yeah.
Last born. I grew up in a very Christian family, extremely. My parents were very strict, but they've always created a very loving and open environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my childhood was pretty much okay. It was, I don't have anything to complain about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your mom and dad married?
Yeah, married.
Yeah.
Married. My dad passed away in 2020.
I had your mom.
Yeah, he was my world.
Oh, shit.
So when I lost him, my world kind of just fell apart. But I'm very close with my mom now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I grew up in church. My parents were like elders in the church. My dad was the assistant pastor. So my foundation is Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in that kind of environment.
How do you be a Christian young girl being raised in Christian principles, Christian family, and you end up on the streets? Like you end up choosing the life that
the
you
street
chose.
Life.
Yeah.
It's the street life becomes appealing. It becomes a luxury.
Yeah.
Lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And I think when I went into my teens, I just started wanting to rebel. I'm not gonna do what I'm told to do. I'm not gonna, So I was just fascinated by, you get to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And I go back home, it's like your prison.
Yes.
So I needed to break out of that prison.
Yeah.
So for me, I was mainly being rebellious. I was just mainly being rebellious. But also I feel that I was raped at 15.
Oh.
So I feel that also played a huge part in the rebellion. Because until I was 15, yes, I was a bit naughty, just like any other teenager.
Yeah.
But after that, it just escalated. So I think that trauma just kind of made the street life even more I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think something in me just switched off. I look back and I put myself in so many risky situations. But at the time, it just was, I'm just living my life.
Yeah.
So that street life was appealing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at 15, you get raped. Is it something that you have publicly spoken about?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I speak to these young kids, I always tell them that I'm a recovered drug and alcohol addict and a rape survivor.
Sure. Do you mind telling us about the rape story?
The rape.
Yeah.
I, 15, go to a house party.
Yeah.
And I got drunk, beyond drunk. But then again, everybody else got drunk there. And then next thing I wake up in hospital, I'm surrounded by doctors because I had passed out and they were struggling to
resuscitate
you. Yes,
so
that.
Come back.
Yeah, so I had no idea what happened in a space of like 6 hours, I think, because the last time I remember I looked at the clock, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When I woke up in hospital, it's 10 o'clock or past 10, somewhere 10-ish.
Yeah.
So then now I'm being taken to the doctor. A lot of things. I'm still drunk at that time. And I'm just going with the flow. And then now I hear rape kit, this. I'm like, okay, what happened?
Yes.
Because at the party, it was just, we're all friends. We're all just friends. Well, that's what I thought. And yeah, that's basically what happened. Until today, I can't definitely say I know who it was, but everyone who was at the party has their suspicions.
Yeah.
And I also recall the person's voice. And I recall the person handing me a drink, but I just can't see the face. You know how trauma is sometimes.
It shuts down the memory.
It's just locked in some way. And yeah, that's what happened.
So you also don't have a recollection of the rape happening?
Yes, the actual rape happening. Because I do remember being handed a drink and the next thing I did, even in therapy, I tried to recall. It's just gone.
Hybo. And like you say, that's what they say about trauma, that especially when you are young, the mind just shuts down those bad memories in order to protect you.
Yeah. So I think somewhere it's there because I just completely became a different person after that.
Yeah.
But it happened bit by bit. It happened. But I think then something in me just, because I was still 15, the brain is still developing, my characters, my personality is not yet.
And you're still a virgin
certain
then.
things, yes, certain things just
Shifted. So had they not at the hospital say rape, you
No.
wouldn't have known that
I
you were
wouldn't,
raped.
because when I woke up, they like, no, they did ask me, did you have, I'm like, no, I don't remember that.
Yes.
Then that's when the rape thing came up. Oh no, we need to do a rape kit, because my dad was mad, was like, I need to know who did this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the friends that you're with, obviously, they are people that saw you or so.
Because one was with her boyfriend and the other one, we were all chilling together when I could remember what was happening.
Yeah.
And then she's the one who could actually tell us what happened. But, people, maybe she didn't see. Let me not say she could. Maybe later she was just drunk and I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But until this day, she
doesn't know
just
anything.
says, I don't know who did what. But we all suspect one person.
Yeah. Is it the boyfriend of the girl?
Of the other guy? No, it's not. It's one of, because it was a group of people. It was like maybe 4 or 5 guys. And, yeah. And we all suspect that person because there's been similar cases involving him. He's spiked people's rings and such.
So then, why did you end up in hospital?
Because I had passed out and they struggled to wake me up at the party. So
You just passed out?
I just completely, that's why I think that my drink might have been spiked. Yeah. Because nothing.
So I hope the kids that are listening to this, because
I always tell them, do not get yourself involved in these things that you are not going to be able to come back from. Because isn't it, they go to these parties and they think, I'm just going with my friend. Get there, your drink is spiked. The worst happens.
Sure. Then from there, you feel that was the start of you
Yeah, because I did go back to being like a good girl. And
Yeah.
I passed my matric. It was really good. And then I went to varsity. I did my first year at UJ. I did really well. I was even shortlisted for a scholarship. But I didn't get it. And then the following year, that's when the wheels just
fell off.
I just started feeling like my parents, I'm not at home anymore. My sisters are always all up in my business. You know what? I'm just going to stop going to school altogether. Then obviously, if you don't go to classes, you don't write exams, you don't write assignments, UJ is like, nah, girl, bye.
Bye.
Go try elsewhere.
Yes.
I went to TUT. The same thing happened. Then I just completely dropped out.
Yeah.
And I met a lady there. I started dating this lady.
Oh my gosh.
So things just, it was like I was living somebody else's life, but I was like, I'm just going to live this life.
Yes, I love this life.
I'm in it. So met that lady, started dating the friend, is also a lady. Then that's when the drugs started.
From women.
Yes. We went to Nelspruit. Like we were just gallivanting.
Yeah.
And that's when we started doing cocaine.
Before you met this lady that now introduced you to cocaine, what were you doing? Just drinking?
Yes, it was just the alcohol. I was still in school, but I wasn't really in school. I was just in school for the sake of my parents wanted me to go to school.
Yeah.
So all we could do was drink. I was a huge drinker. I think my biggest addiction was the alcohol.
Yeah. That's where it started.
Yeah. With the alcohol. Because I always tell these kids that I speak to that nobody just wakes up and say, I'm going to try drugs. We all start somewhere.
I sat with another girl is she 18? She's a recovering drug addict. And yeah, she's 18. And she said that it doesn't start with just drugs. it starts, and now for her, it started with like cigarettes, then marijuana, and then it went there. So he was like, all these things that you think are nothing, they are she said a doorway to
a portal.
a
to
portal
those things.
to, yeah. So for you, it was alcohol.
It was alcohol. And then I tried weed, but I was like, nah, it's not for me. Depresses. I'm an introvert, so, and I think from the rape, my self-esteem was kind of knocked down. So cocaine makes you feel very confident.
Yeah.
So for me, that was my drug of choice. Yeah, but it started with the alcohol. Then you try the weed, and obviously you're like, this weed is not. Let me try something stronger.
So this lady you meet her, you date her. And then how do they introduce these things to you?
We're just all chilling, and it's, let's try it. Because at first they would hide it from me.
Yeah.
And then eventually I'm like, guys, you guys keep going to the toilet. Like, what's going on? I could see that something. Like, no, one tells me that, no, we keep going to do cocaine. I'm like, let me try it.
Oh, my gosh.
I go, why not?
Why not?
Then that's when it started. From that first hit, that first line, I was like, this is for me. Because I became a totally different person. I'm like, okay, this is life is so much brighter on this stuff.
I love
Life
this
is
feeling.
So yeah, that's how the drugs, that's how it began. And it was downhill from that. The nail sprayed incident it was a June, I was home, June holiday, so I had to go back to school.
Yeah.
And then I told myself I'm going to go to nail spray to see this girl for just like a week. A week became 3 months. I was AWOL, like I changed my number.
Not changing a number.
My parents were stressed out, and eventually, because I would still communicate with my old friends.
Yeah.
So they got the numbers from them. Then now they started calling me. I'm like, guys, just give me a break. You guys don't even love me. You guys don't even want me.
We've had that a lot of time where people are just like, my family hates me.
Yeah, so I was like, hi guys, I just want to live my life. Then eventually, they came to fetch me. The night they came to pick me up, I felt like I was being kidnapped because I didn't know what was going on.
By your own parents.
We were chilling, and then these 3 guys come in. One picks me up, the other one picks my legs up. They, that type of vibe. They put me in a car, and it's a black BMW. I don't know this car. I'm like, I think I'm gonna die today.
Yes.
Then I see my mom in the car. I'm like, yo, okay. Then I start crying. I go back home.
And then?
Go back home, wake up the following day. I'm still very, very high. Then the 2 ladies, the one I was dating and their friend, they decide, no, we're going to come pick you up.
Oh, my God.
Then they come to Mutlaletse all the way from
all the way.
They come through, and it was just chaotic. I remember I fought with my whole family.
Yeah.
And then I started telling them, when are this. When I believe you never really loved me. Oh, your kids, the golden girls. Yes. Me, I'm just a rebel. Well, I'm embracing it.
I'm not even your child. I'm sure I'm not my dad's child.
You know? Like, it was so hectic. They even had to call these 2 pastors to come. Maybe they thought, this person is possessed or something. Because they were not sure about the drugs.
Yeah.
And yeah, eventually, I was like, they take me to a psychologist. And then I'm like, no, I just need a break from them. For me, saying the break was just a way for them to let me go back to nail spray. But then the psychologist is like, no, let them take you to a rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
I just stay there for 3 weeks. I did. There, the drugs wore off, and they gave me medication. And yeah, for a week or 2, when I'm back home now, things were fine. And I started thinking, I enjoy Lagabi this one.
You're like, no, I'm not having this life.
I'm like, no ways. And then I just leave. I waited for them to be comfortable with me being home, because now they didn't want to leave me alone. One had to go, the other one is there. So I'm like, 2 weeks, nyana, they will be fine.
But
one time they went to town.
Yeah.
And I just left. Just went to buy, because I would always buy myself alcohol and drink in my room.
Yeah.
When they come, I'm like, no, I'm sleeping, this medication. So
you'll be buying alcohol secretly.
Yes.
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know.
But when you're drunk, you don't go out and start causing a scene.
No, I just get drunk. Yeah. And you know, alcohol is such a social type of drug.
Yeah.
But for me, it wasn't about that. For me, it was about, I want that. It was an escape for me. I don't know. Somehow, my psychologist used to call, connected with the rape because I was drunk that day. And like, I think the trauma is somehow these two are connected.
Sure.
So I just left that day and I just left. They called me and I called them and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm fine. Can you just give me a chance to live my life? And then because we had that conversation, then I would go home freely, see them.
Okay.
But sometimes I would just stay like 3 months. I don't go home. I don't talk to them. I don't anything. But the thing is, you know how parents are. They would still pay my rent.
Shame.
And I registered psychology at UNISA. Because that's something that I've always wanted. And I would go write exams high sometimes. Sometimes I wouldn't go write. So when I say it took me 10 years to complete a 3.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. So, yeah, then I lived my life there. The lady I was living with, she was nantrapa. Like, she would, you know, then she would beat me up.
When you're high?
Yes, when we're both high. We used to do drugs together.
Oh, I'm thinking it's someone that was just worried about this person.
No, it was the person I was dating. It was a very toxic, you know, I think when somebody sees that you basically said bye to your parents, I don't want you, they take advantage of that as well. So, yeah. That.
I want to know about your life when you went home, when your mom kidnapped you from Nelspruit or took you. People will take it out of context. When your mom came to take you home, how was your life when you were home? Like, what would you do in the morning? You wake up and do what?
Okay, the first 3 weeks I was at the rehabilitation
okay,
center.
Yes.
Then the following 2 weeks when I was home, just wake up, have breakfast, and then wait for them to chill a bit, to relax, go buy alcohol, come back. And
you'd keep the alcohol in your bedroom?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would drink in my bedroom. And they would be happy because I'm there, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a little bit tipsy, you're a bit happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they'll be thinking our child is coming back.
Yes,
now.
I would also talk to them like, you know, I just don't want that life anymore. I think maybe there were moments where I was like, I really don't want that kind of life anymore. But then I guess the little devil on the shoulder was a bit more
stronger. And then you leave now and you start coming home. And what are your parents? You know how our parents shame. When you are home, when you go back home, what is your dad saying? Like, my little girl, Batong.
Yeah, they would talk to me. How are things? But the thing is, they didn't want to impose a lot because what if she stops coming home completely or she stops talking to us? So they were like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm good.
Sure.
Because I would never ask them money often because of the lady who was providing for
You're
us.
Blessed. You're blessed.
You know? So, yeah, we would talk. When I'm home, I go to church. I do everything they want. I behave.
Yeah.
And then when I leave, it's okay to leave.
I saw your picture. What is going on? The picture that you shared of your life then when you were like so slender. And so I don't know if you'll allow us to also put it here.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It's fine.
We'll flight it here somewhere. And your picture looks exactly like that girl, the little girl that I stayed with.
Yeah.
It's like the same picture of like the same that are doing, I don't know, it's like people that are on drugs, they've got like the same picture of the, I don't know how.
When they are on drugs.
Yes.
I don't know, I think it's something in the drugs. Maybe a certain chemical in them. It's the same type of skinny. You can tell that this person is not naturally like that. That's, So I would get stares, but I've always been a skinny child. So I think maybe some people were like, maybe she never gained to eat. Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah. Time goes. You're still with this person that you're in a toxic relationship with now. You are not dating men. Like, how are you ending up now starting to date a woman?
It really just happened. I don't even. But I honestly feel like after the rape, I was anti-men for a while.
Yeah.
I was just
Subconsciously.
If I say until today I don't trust men,
Yeah.
it's one I don't 100% trust strange men.
Yeah.
So for me, then it was easy for me I'm like, I don't even like guys anyway.
Yeah.
I don't even trust them. But looking back at it, was I really attracted to this
her.
lady? It was just one of those. That's why, some people would say, would you say that you're bisexual?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't think so, because I wasn't really even attracted to this person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just that safe nyana space I felt. He's not a man, but I also need some sort of affection.
Yeah.
So a woman is much safer than a man.
A man. Are you married to a man now?
Yes.
I'm just checking. I'm gonna have to check.
I'm married to a man.
Okay.
I have 2 boys. And before I met this man, I had the boys.
Okay.
So yeah, he's not the first
He's
man.
not the first man, okay. I'm thinking you are trialing with this husband. When do you have the boys now?
The boys I had, one is 9, 8, one is 6.
Did you have one in between you with your past life?
No.
Okay,
not
you
with the
were
drugs.
sober. Yeah.
I was just on the alcohol.
Okay.
Because after the drugs, there was the alcohol.
Alcohol. Fine. How do you now let go of the drugs? How does now your life progress?
I get the lady was beating me up now. I got tired.
You're like, oh, what?
I was like, I have a home. I have loving parents.
Yeah.
I just packed all my things and I left. I went back home. My dad was the happiest. My mom was like,
Reklamo.
my mom is the really, really strict one. My
Yeah.
dad was a softie. So, yeah. And then they sat me down. They're like, are you still going back there? I'm like, no, I'm home for good.
Yeah.
I'm home. I just don't know what I'm going to do as I'm studying. Because now I had to be serious with my studies because years have passed. Now I have to be concentrate. But you can come work with us. My parents have a small private school.
Okay.
Like in Moshaletse. So I'm like, okay, cool.
I'll start to work
How
there.
I stopped the drugs was literally change of environment.
That's I was just about to ask that it looks like it was easy for you to just
It was that. But every time I would go to Joburg for that whole 2014, I would relapse.
I hear.
Because of that. So I stayed away from Joburg for a while until after I felt, now I can go. But the thing is, now I was more on the alcohol.
So you were drinking now?
A lot.
Sure.
Now I was drinking. I was just good at hiding it. I don't know if these people could see I was drunk, but they just played like they can't see it. But I would close myself in the room and just drink away.
What would you drink? Wine?
Wine was...
Savannah?
Yeah, Savannah, wine, and anything. I was that Yonkin Tsimbi.
Yeah,
even beer, I was there.
Yeah.
I was anything, gin.
I'm also thinking now that what your psychologist said, because you can't just drink alcohol in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You understand? Like,
Yeah.
Socialize. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's just like stress, actually. You just...
Yeah. Because, people would understand if you drink with them a weekend.
Yeah.
But now she wants to drink on a Monday. Yeah. On a Tuesday, our hectic day at work, and then you have to... And I was the type that I have to drink until I'm out.
Sure.
So it was a battle. I think the alcohol was my biggest addiction.
Yeah.
Hardest one to let go of. Because I literally could not picture my life without alcohol.
Like, without it, how would you feel? And with it, how would you feel? Like you literally
I'm
want
depressed.
to drink.
Without it, I'm depressed. I'm not the happiest. With it, I feel alive. I'm okay. Even if I'm by myself, it's fine. I'll just be on my socials and that's it. I'm okay.
Udiyang like I'm coming. Are you not calling people now?
Sometimes
texting
I would.
people.
I wouldn't drag text.
Yeah.
I would maybe call. Yes, status. You start talking to random people. Socially, people will say hi to you, but today Shokiki extrovert.
Yeah.
type of thing. Because I'm sure people were like, oh, this one minute she's this, maybe there's something going on. So, yeah, it was my crutch.
Yeah.
The alcohol was, yeah. Then I lost my dad in 2020.
Yeah.
I completely lost it because I felt the one man that I trusted with everything is gone. So
Yeah.
2021 was the worst year. I think that's the most I drank because I would go to work drunk. And I worked with my mother. And we fought all the time.
Steamer sa owner.
You know?
On the floor.
10 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, no, I'm just going to go get an early lunch. I'm gone. And I'll come back at 2 o'clock and this person is not herself anymore.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest struggle.
Yeah. But you continue to work.
I continued to work. I had to. She was like, I'm not going to support you. You need to give me something. You know? I'm not going to. You have kids. I think my kids were like, I had them and I really had to turn my life around. But my sister came through in 2021. That's how my kids started staying with her.
Okay.
Like, let me take one, you'll stay with the other, just because you're clearly not okay.
How would you mother them then before your sister took them? How would the relationship go? Would you have a relationship or you always lock yourself in the room?
No, I would have a relationship with them. I would. It's just I stayed with my mother and my sister. I think that balance, when I'm not okay, they would take over.
It's a village.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, I would try to be there.
Yeah. Sure. Then your dad passed on. Was he sick?
Yeah, he fell sick, went to hospital, and then it was during COVID.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Then that's when everybody got COVID. Everyone was in hospital. It was either they got COVID or I don't know.
When do you now start to get out of the alcohol as well?
Towards the end of 2021, I said my parents have a private school. It's a Christian private school. There was a gentleman that came there. He was a pastor.
Yeah.
To come help with the pastoring because my dad was the one who was doing most of the pastoring. So I met him and we started talking. And I don't know, I just started, maybe there is some sort of life without the alcohol. Maybe potentially there could be, would pray together and all that. And I remember this one time he asked me, what is it that you want to do? There's something that you clearly want to do.
Yeah.
And I started telling him about my new life. I call my organization New Life, RYC. That this is what I've always wanted to do. Always wanted to be a voice for young people. Always wanted to make young people realize that there's life out there. And it doesn't matter where you're from, what has happened to you.
Yeah.
You can make a difference and you can become someone. But because of my drinking, I've just always thought, how am I going to tell these kids to not drink while I'm probably going to go get drunk after that? So, yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the 27th December, I had my last drink and cigarette. 27th December 2021. Again, it was just like a switch.
Wow.
It was like a switch. Until today, I can never say I have ever had a cigarette craving after that day.
It can only be God.
It can, Grace. It can only be God.
Because people struggle when they're going to talk about their recovery process.
So every time a person says, how did you... I'm like, it sounds so...
cliche.
Yes, you know, I'm like, it has to be God. There's no other way I could have. My parents' prayers.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I was not praying then.
No.
So my parents' prayers
Who's
really...
God at that moment?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how old are your boys now?
One is 8, one is 6.
Yeah. And then the relationship between... Obviously, you had one before you got married. And this one is... No, you had both of them before you got married.
Before I got married, yes.
And then do you have any relationship? How did you meet their dads? Or their dad?
Their dad. We went to school together. We were best friends from high school.
Yeah.
That rape incident, he was there as well.
Oh, my God.
So I think that also made us close. Because he throughout all these years, he's just been protective. And so, when you have somebody like that and you're like, maybe we could try something. Yeah, so that's how we met.
Then you had 2 boys.
Then we had 2 boys.
Nice.
Yeah. Then my drinking just really did not help in the marriage. It did.
It can't.
It did not help. We just eventually parted ways.
Yeah. Were you guys like married? Traditionally?
No, not traditionally, but in church when they join you.
I hear you.
Yeah. So it was that.
That. So how many years later now? From 2021, 3 years later, where are you now?
2022, I started speaking to kids in high schools. Now I wanted the New Life RYC organization to really be active. And I just approached schools at home and said, I want to do this. Made a formal proposal for them. And they're like, yeah, let's try.
Yeah.
And then I started. That's how it started. And that's where I'm still there. Speak to young kids at schools, primary, high school, drug awareness campaigns. We organize marches. I've recently started speaking to parents as well, parents to teenagers. Yeah, just make them aware that we are fighting, we're in a fight. And you need to decide what kind of future you want, because I have seen both sides of the coin.
Yes.
I know what it is to make bad choices. And now I am only rebuilding in, okay, if you do choose better, there is something better out there for you.
Having been a girl who's coming from a good family, a well-off family, or a family that was good, Christian family, speaking to parents now, where do you think parents that raise you in that way, like it's like a good, it's like a good way, it's a picture perfect way. How do you, where do you think our parents like lose it? Or what do you think they should do? Because I don't see someone that grew up like you ending up the way you did.
Yeah.
Yes. Outside the rape that happened to you, parenting-wise and family-wise, how can parents do better? Or where do you think the gap was?
I think that parents want to raise their kids how they were raised. And times are changing. Times have completely... I can't raise my 8-year-old how I was raised. I can't be too strict, because my parents were shoki, aujoli, full stop.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell you why. They're not going to just don't talk to boys.
Yes.
So with them, the now generation, even the high school kids, they will ask you why. Why mustn't I do that? But I'm old enough and I'm responsible. I will drink like moderately.
Yeah.
So now it's the communication needs to be better.
Yeah.
We need to have a relationship. I tell these parents that have a relationship with them. You can now know what trends, know what's on TikTok.
Yes.
Because if you don't inform your kids, if you don't empower them with information, they're going to find answers out there. And the answers out there are usually never the answers that you want your kids to have. Have time with them. Become their friends, but obviously don't lose the parent, but know them. Because now I could easily just stay in my room and drink. My parents would just think,
wouldn't know.
Yes, but if you know your kid, you would know that, all these days, too much. You'd see their behaviors, but if you don't know your kids, then you wouldn't know that something is up.
It's so true, especially from Black parents.
Yeah.
Black parents. I don't know if it's just parents from Limpopo, Morachwang or what, but the family is good, but the emotional relationship with the parent, the communication, it's lacking. Where else I can do anything that I want to do, my parents wouldn't know. And now when this thing is this big thing, they will be like, what happened?
Yeah.
I've just been doing it right under your nose. You did not see. Because they give homol Scam fetola. Yeah. So that's a very important takeaway, especially for us young moms, you know. Our parents are good, they're still good, but there are ways that now they won't even surface with our kids. Like,
I always say that the principles in which that you instill in the kids, they can still be the same principles that your parents instilled in you, but the methods in which you use cannot be the same.
The same.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And then now having I heard in your mom's speech saying that you wish your dad could see you now. How does that make you feel? Like, what are your wishes as far as your dad is concerned?
I really wish that he saw this person that I am. I'm the type of woman, or I turned out into the type of woman that he has always prayed. That he's always told me, you are going to be a pastor or something.
Pastor's wife. Something.
You're going to be great. Yeah. And he loved like young people. It's like, I can see that same love I have, it's in the inside of you, and you're going to do bigger and better than I ever did. Sure. And then, my mom would be like, oh, yeah. I would also be like, okay, I guess so, Yeah. But my dad like pumped me up with confidence. Yeah. Yeah. I remember he used to call me pretty all the time. Like, you're so beautiful, my daughter. And I would look at myself like, that time I was very, very skinny. Yeah. Until I started believing it. So he's the one person that I wish was here. Yeah. To see this person I've become.
Sure. That's kind of sad, but you'll just think, but obviously you're a Christian. For me, I would think he's somewhere there, like
watching over me.
Yeah, pumping me to say, my girl, I've always wanted that for you, you know. But any words for young girls, that has been through rape? Let me ask you first, what support did you get from your parents or family right after they've realized that you've been raped? Or was just, this is the case, after that it was quiet, now we move on with our life?
It was, I think maybe it's a black or a baby thing. They just handed me over to the psychologist.
Yeah.
No, it's yes, okay. That's it. It's awkward.
Yeah.
It's awkward. So, but my sisters were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My sisters were really there.
Before even we wrap up, you spoke about your sister taking care of your child, like saying, let me take one child. Did you instantly agree to that, or because you needed the help, or you were like, no, I can take care of my kids?
I was like, I can take care of my kids. At first, I was
especially when it comes from your sister, you're like,
yes. I was like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
But after a while, they kept talking to me about it. I was like, yeah, maybe, it would be good for him to be in a different environment.
Yeah.
Mama phela rasa wa nkomanya, where we do have those bonding moments, but mama wa omana.
It's like another child with another child. Yes. A child that has a child.
So that really helped.
Yeah.
At first I was a bit, but I was like, you know what? Maybe let's just see.
Where can people get a hold of you?
I have a TikTok account. I have an Instagram and a Facebook account.
What do you do with is it a foundation?
It's an NGO.
Yeah. What do you guys do there? Do you help people? Should people come to you that are like parents and kids that are addicts?
I usually the parents want me to talk to the kids.
I hear.
And pastors want me to come and talk to their youth when they have event schools, if they have like matric dances or whatever.
Yeah.
But throughout the year, I just ask this schools if I can just come talk to the kids, to the girls, the boys, or just the whole school.
Yeah.
So that's mainly, and I do drug awareness campaigns as well. We do marches. They always have an annual march. And pretty much.
You're such an introvert. I can even like feel when you're talking. You're like talking, then you go back into your shell.
Thank you.
Go back into your shell. So do you? What did I want to ask you? I wanted to ask you. So you are based in Limpopo.
Yeah.
You at Moshaletse now. The children of Moshaletse, when you're looking at them, when you're going around, are they drugs that side?
There are drugs.
Sure.
My main reason for starting the organization is because of the kind of community that I'm from. It's a village, and it doesn't have certain facilities. So young people just wanna quickly, there's nothing to do, let's go to the alcohol.
Yeah.
Now the drugs have just recently just boomed.
Where do you think they come from?
I do not know, but it's mostly Nyaope.
Oh.
And what's that other one? Crystal meth. Those are the more affordable ones and the more dangerous ones as well. So it's mostly that. I've seen a lot of, it breaks my heart, a lot of this addicts. And most parents are like, why don't you just have a rehabilitation center? I'm like, it's not really my calling, but
see,
I say I just want to make the other ones aware.
Yeah.
But I work with an ambassador for a rehabilitation center, a recovery home.
Okay.
Owned by my mentor.
Okay.
So she deals with boys. Her ministry is more boys.
Is it a woman?
Yes, it's a woman.
Was she also on drugs or?
No, she wasn't.
Okay. Did you end up finishing your psychology?
Yes, I graduated last year.
Oh my gosh.
I graduated last year.
Sure. So then it links to the job that you do now, like your career plus what you do now.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why you're saying that having like the center is really not your calling, but being like a therapist, psychologist.
Yeah, my heart is really with young people. I just want them to make better choices.
Yeah.
I mean, I come from a village. Already we have so many disadvantages.
100%.
And then now you want to further engage in alcohol and just set yourself back
10 times.
Yes. And I always tell them that the biggest anchor or my biggest rock is God. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for Christ. I wouldn't. And to young people, it's like,
100%.
I'm like, do it. You'll never regret.
Yeah.
You'll never regret because you're going to be restricted to do certain things. So.
100%.
Yeah.
But do you think, though, I'm a firm believer of meeting people where they are, right? Like, I can't talk to a person who's like poor in the village, Kibolela, about getting what like this big stuff, and even with like kids that are drinking alcohol and don't you think that speaking about like, obviously God is for everyone, but speaking, it's like they're here, you are hitting here. Don't you think maybe, I don't even know what you can use just to come to where they are and we speak to them where they are. I don't even know, but it's like the more you grow, the more you actually understand. But anyway, we have to get God when we're still younger anyway. It's okay.
Ladies 2 verse 1 says that.
Yeah.
So it's just making it a bit more, it's like going back to Sunday school with them. Make it a bit more. I'm not saying you mustn't do 1, 2, 3, you mustn't live your life, but live your life within the right. Don't conform to the patterns of this world. Don't just do everything that the world says you must do.
Yeah.
Your foundation has to be Christ, and then live your life based on that foundation.
True.
Know who you are, know who He says that you are.
Yeah.
Then discover, flourish.
Yeah. I hear. So maybe we need to just make God and Christ palatable for them, like in a way that they understand.
Yes.
Cool, I get that. Guys, go to church. Girls.
You better.
You better go to church. Anyway, Shoki, thank you so much. Do you have any closing remarks? What you want to say? I don't know. Do you want to now
young
putting you on the
people,
spot. Yeah,
just,
to young people, what do you want to say to them? I think you've said a mouthful, but any parting ways for them? Into
Just
that camera.
Your life is in your hands, literally. I think this sounds like a cliche, but your life really is in your hands, and the decisions that you make today, they affect your tomorrow. So choose better and choose Christ. Yeah.
Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you in the next episode. Such conversations are important, you know. We often hear about drugs and on televisions, it's almost as if they're not close to us, but hearing conversation with everyday people that are coming from villages is actually like, we need to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.